Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hope everyone's doing okay and everyone is all right. All right. Let's see. It's 12:29. Let's give everybody a chance. They might want. There might still be some people that are trickling in. So let's give them a chance. All right. Hey, how's it going? All right. You good? You good? All right. We'll give them one more minute and then we'll go ahead and get started. Let's see. All right, let's go ahead and get rolling. So, once again, good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's doing great. Everyone is all right. Welcome to 245 online. So, I have you for these next 7 weeks. So, hopefully, you guys have seen the emails that I've been sending. If you have been sending, so more than likely you have if you were able to click onto this link. So, when you go to your Canvas shell and you go to your Canvas announcements, normally how I communicate to the whole class is that I email. Let me hit this button here. Email the whole class, but then I archive all our emails, our class emails in your Canvas announcements. So we do not meet regularly. You guys have all the information that you need from me, but they're all office hours, of course. But as far as regular meeting times, we do not meet. So if you, let's say, haven't heard from me in a while, and you're questioning if I have communicated to the class, you can always go to your Canvas announcements. I normally send them out two different ways. I'll email them to you directly, email the whole class directly, and I archive them in the Canvas announcements. So just letting you know how that normally works. So the first email, which is the course description, just letting you know how the class is going to operate, that it's all online. It's asynchronous, means that we don't have a scheduled class time. You just take care of class assignments and stuff on your own time based on due dates. That was just the next one was just the email letting class started on the 21st. All right. And then the third one I sent out was talking about your math lab and access to math lab. So hopefully you guys have already done that. I know a lot of people have already. So you would just follow these directions to register. You use this course ID right here. And then once you do that, that'll set you up to get into the shell. But then you have three options. You can type in your access code that you got from some external source, whether it be the bookstore. I don't know if Amazon sell it, or you might have got it from a friend, whatever the case may be. You would type in a 16-digit code. You could purchase access. If you purchase access, they won't give you access code. They will just give you the access because you're right there in the course. So it'll just give you the access. Or you can use the 14-day free pass if you're not ready to purchase at that moment. So we'll look at that before we close out today, just making sure everybody's okay with the registration process. All right. So you have to have Math Lab in order to do anything in the class, to pass the class. All of your assignments will be generated through Math Lab. Your tests, your homeworks, and even our final exam will be done through Math Lab. So make sure you guys get that access and you can see all of your assignments. The next email was Math Lab specifics. We're basically showing you, talking to you about how we're going to use Math Lab specifically. Notice that first statement right here. Math Lab does not work well with Safari. So the best one I've used that normally works is Chrome. Firefox works as well. I had one semester when it was a little spotted with Firefox, but Chrome I know for a fact works. And both of those are free, so we're not asking you to spend any more money in regards to that. If you have an Apple product and you decide to use Safari, sometimes you won't know that it's not working because some things will show up, some things will not. Yeah, so just don't mess with Safari. Don't mess with Safari. All right, so looking at a few of the things that, not a few of the things, looking at the things that I did send as far as how we will be using MathLab. You cannot pass the course without access to MathLab. I already mentioned that. Already mentioned that all of your assignments and tests will be generated through MathLab. The next statement, you must participate or show activity in Math Lab weekly. I'm not asking for daily attendance, or I mean daily participation, but at least weekly, so that that will solidify your attendance. So once again, you don't have to get in there every day, but at least get in there once a week. And I know if you're really knocking this work out, getting in there once a week really won't do it. You probably have to get in there more. But I'm just saying, for attendance purposes, at least get in there once a week. If you're having any issues with anything, attendance, if Math Lab go down, anything, make sure you communicate that to me so I can vouch for you if I have to, or if we have to do something as far as extensions are concerned. I wouldn't know unless you tell me. All right. When it comes to your homework, you have unlimited amount of attempts to get the best grade possible on your homeworks. So keep in mind, I do know if you want it, you could play the game. And what I mean by that is that with unlimited amount of tries, there's no such thing as unlimited amount of problems, right? So you could get one wrong, get the answer when they give it to you, then keep clicking on it till you get that same problem back, and then you just doing all your homework and you get 100 on the homework, and then when it comes to the test, you getting a 20. So I know there's a game to be played. Please don't play the game. It will not help you when it comes to the test. The test, and I got it right here. Your test, you only get 2 attempts. Now, if you want another attempt, then it's fine. Just shoot me an email. I can give you another attempt. That's not a big deal. But you get 2 attempts without having to ask for it. But once again, if you're just doing the click game with the homework, it will reflect on your test. So please do your homework and make sure you have an understanding of the homework. And if not, always feel free to reach out, and I'll do whatever I can to help you, gain that understanding. Now, when it comes to your homework, 75 with the unlimited amount of attempts, I'm looking for at least a 75. All right, so 75 to 84.9, I'll give you a 90% in the grade book, which is still an A. But if you score at least an 85, then I'll give you a full credit, full 100%. Now, that's not something I can program Math Lab to do. That's just something I'm doing. So that's an adjustment that I'll make when I do final grading and final grade calculation. So that's not going to show up as you go throughout your, activity of Math Lab. Just know that that's what I'm going to do at the end of and when I do my final grade. All right. Test reviews for every test and even your final exam. There is a review that's set up right before it, lets you know what type of problems you're going to see on that test. So it should help you streamline your studies. You don't have to do them; they're not mandatory. So if you just wanted to go in there, look at a few problems, even try a few out. Let's say when you come out of it, have a 20% there. That will not reflect on your grade. Will not affect your grade. Math Lab may reflect it, but when I do final grading, just know that will be adjusted. Um, yeah, yeah. I think Math Lab does show a change, but just know that I will not hold it against you. Now, if you want extra credit, though, people always ask for extra credit. I got extra credit built in. If you score 85 or better on that test review on any of them, then I will add 5 points to that respective test. So it's up to you how you want to do that. Once again, you don't have to do anything with it. I would suggest you at least take a look at your test reviews because it'll let you know what type of problems you're going to deal with. But that's up to you. All right. Then the last statement, email me a copy of your scratch work if you have any scratch work. This class will probably not have much. That's a general statement I give to all of my classes, but I also teach calculus and pre-calculus and stuff like that. This class may not have that much scratch work because it tells you to use technology. So if you don't have that much, then I understand it. But like I said, it's a general statement that I put on all of my classes. All right. So questions before we leave this page. Oh, let me say this too. And when I talk about emailing a copy, you can take a picture with your phone, you can scan it, whatever way. It's not a big deal. You don't have to type it into Microsoft or anything like that. You can take a picture with your phone off of your notebooks and then send that to me. So, all right. Any questions on Math Lab specifics before we go to the next thing? Hold, hold on. I barely can hear you. Say that again. Can you type it? Can you type it? Because it's a little lag on your voice too. So yeah. So I'll look for you. I'll look for your chat. All right. Anybody else? Everybody good? Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go to the next one, but I'll wait for your chat. Okay, here we go. Let's see. If I start an assignment, can I go back into it? Great question. For your homeworks, yes. For your homework, you can go in and out with no problems. Now for your test though, for your test, there's a trick to it. Now, if you're going to do your test, now like I said, it don't say, it might say incomplete. No, it only say incomplete for your test. It won't say incomplete for your homework because the homeworks are made to go in and out of them. Now, for your test though, they're not made to go in and out of. They're made to be done in one sitting. Now, this is the cheat code. I shouldn't tell you this, but this is how you can do it. So, what you can do is, if you, let's say you jump into a test, you thought you were ready to take it, or you thought you just had the mental mindset at the moment, but then you just like, you know what, I'm fried for the day. I can't do it. You have to treat it as if a blackout occurred. So you cannot sign out. You can't hit submit. You hit submit, of course, that's it. But you cannot sign out. You got to just hit the red X up top and just close it out. Just close the window out. And then when you come back into it, it'll let you pick up where you left off. But that you only have to pull that type of trick only for your test though. So for the 4 tests that you have, once again, just hit the red X. Don't log off. Don't hit submit. Don't do anything. Don't save. Don't look for that. Just close it out. Treat it like a blackout occurred, and then it'll let you pick up where you left off. All right. Let's see. Yep. No problem. No problem. All right. So now the next email, previously recorded lectures. It's up to you if you want to look at these or not. These are all of the sections that you'll be held responsible for. From chapter 2 all the way to chapter 10. Now chapters 1 and 2, and you're gonna see it when we get into Math Lab. They're definition based. So chapter 2, I talk about a few things, just a couple of things, but mainly chapter 1 and chapter 2 are definition based. So if you do your definitions, then you got the answers. So what I didn't do was give you a lecture, just regurgitating information. I'm telling you information, you copying it out. I didn't do lectures on those, because all you got to do is take those definitions, make sure you understand definitions, and then go to the homework. Some of the homework are asking you those same definitions. So now if you have any questions on them, then feel free to ask, of course. But that's why the real lecture really doesn't get started to chapter 3. That's where we really start getting into calculation. But those are all of my lectures. If you were in my 245 in person, it would be the same notes, same guy talking and everything like that. So that's the same class experience you would get. Just you can't ask me live, right? All right. So any questions on those previously recorded lectures? Very good. And like I said, you can look at them or not. It's up to you, but they're there for you. Office hours, just my office hours for the semester. If by some chance you can't make those and your schedule just doesn't work with it, just email me and we can try to find a time that fits both of our schedules. So that's not a problem. And those work for the whole semester. All you gotta do is click on it during the appointed time and I'll be there. If by some chance Zoom do something weird, then I'll send some new links out. But other than that, those links work for the end of the semester. Yeah, for the most part, I am. I might step away. So, but if you know you're coming, it would be beneficial to let me know. To shoot me an email. I'm going to be there Tuesday at 12:30. So if you don't show up at 12, I won't say, hey, nobody coming today. I'm gonna go do something around the house, or something, or do something in my office, wherever I am that day. So if I know you're coming at 12:30, I'll make sure I'm sitting there at 12:30. So yeah, just let me know. Yeah, you don't have to make an appointment, but like I said, because even if you show up, I plan on being there. But it just lets me know when to be there for sure. Because that's 3 hours. Like on Tuesday and Thursday, I'm sitting there for 3 hours, so I may go off and do something, and then come back and check on stuff. So in order to make best use of both our times, if you know what time you're gonna be there, then let me know, and I'll be making sure I'm sitting there. All right. All right. So I'll get that out of here. All right, so that's it. Another one was just optional intro meeting. That's it for the emails. Any questions on the emails before we go looking at Math Lab? Everybody good? All right. Oh, let's do this. And I believe y'all still can see my screen. Yep. All right, so if you haven't registered yet, you will go to the Math Lab website and then hit student access to register. Are you using the LMS? Technically we are, but we're not using it in conjunction. Like we're not embedding Math Lab into Canvas. LMS is learning management system, and Canvas is our learning management system, but we're not using that inside of we're not embedding, like I said, MATLAB inside of Canvas. So really the answer is no. And so you just say, I'm ready to register. And then you would use that code that I gave you, that course code, Tucker 54477. And now we'll see, like for me, it's asking me to, let me see. Oh, no, you hit create an account for those who don't have one. And then you put in all your information and create your account, and then it'll put you into the shell. It'll ask you they'll give you those three options though. If you want to put in your access code, purchase access, or the 14-day free pass. The 14-day pass will be like a small link down at the bottom of the screen, because of course they want you to pay that money. But yeah. Questions on registration before we go into the course? All right, let me get in here. All right, so your shell is down here. Got 14 people in there already. That's great. That's great. All right, so everything that you need is in the course. Like I said, the only reason we're using Canvas is to archive the emails that I sent to the class. If I could have done that and put it into MathLab, then I would have done that. Just that I try to put everything into one place. So you see your syllabus is not in Canvas, but it's right here in MathLab. You got all the pages and everything. Here go those definition assignments that I talked about. That's if I can scroll up, that's chapter 1 and then chapter 2. Chapter 2 is only one page. We'll talk about that before we leave. And your assignments are right here, right in the syllabus. So everything all the way to the final exam. You guys I'm not doing the midterm since it's only 7 weeks. I'm not doing a midterm for you guys, just the final exam. And everything is due on the 12th, and I believe that's the last day in SIS. That's why I put the 12th. I'm pretty sure it is. That's why I put the 12th. But yeah, so that week of the 12th is going to be your final exam week. And the way I know, and I'm going to give you instructions on this, so you don't have to hold on to the information I'm giving you right now, but just give you an insight on how we're going to do the final exam. You can't see it right now, but eventually it is going to pop up under here. When you click on it, it's going to ask you for the password. You will not get that password until the day of the exam. So I'm going to give you like 4 or 5 days and times to choose from. And then you click on, that time that fits your schedule. And when you click on it, you enable your camera, show your ID to the camera. And then once you show your ID, then I will give you the password. So that's how that works. And then you will sit there for, however long it takes for you to do your exam. I know I give you a 2-hour block, but I don't give you I didn't create a test that's supposed to last 2 hours, but I'm giving you 2 hours. So just know that I'm not, I'm not trying to make it the hardest thing in the world. It shouldn't take you 2 hours, but if you want to have it, you have 2 hours to take it. And so that's how the final exam will work. But everything else, you see, you got chapter 1 all the way to the end, and you have until December 12th to get it done. So I can see you. Yeah, I'm just talking about just like you've enabled your camera right now, so I can see you. That's all. So I can see you actually taking the test. That's all. So some people like if I was teaching this class online, regularly, let's say we had a regular scheduled class time. Let's say we met online on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30. I wouldn't make you show your camera. Like I think we got one person up here right now that her camera is not enabled, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. If all we're doing is taking notes or I'm just talking to y'all. But for test taking, I do need to see you, and so that's what I mean by enabling your camera. Yep. Yes, it will be on Zoom. Yep, just like this for sure. And I'm going to give you 4 or 5 Zoom options to choose from, and then from there, whichever one fits your schedule. Like I'm gonna give a couple in the morning. I know I'm gonna give you at least one in the evening, like at 6 o'clock or whatever, whatever fits your schedule. and you'll know about those at least 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time, and you'll be able to, you know, pick the one that fits you best. And yep. Let's see. Oh, get out of here. You all right? All right. Any other questions so far? Everybody good? Everybody good? So notice once again, there's only one due date. And I did that because that gives room for life to happen, and you don't have to ask for an extension. You can just get caught up. If you're in a place and you have a question about where you should be at that moment, then feel free to ask. You can shoot me an email. Am I behind or whatever? That's fine. I can let you know. Um, Chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 are relatively light. I know in 155, 5 start getting to a heavier calculation, but while it's light, my point is this: while it's light, take advantage of the light times. Go ahead and knock this stuff out. Chapters 1 and 2, like I said, are all definitions, definition based. Chapter 2 have some graphs in it, but they're light things. So when take care of the light stuff. You know what I mean? While it's light, and then so that when you may hit a speed bump, or something like that, something may slow you down, the topic may slow you down or something, you're not hitting that speed bump in November. You know what I mean? Because you're hitting it early or whatever. So make sure you take advantage of your time properly. Just like I tell my class, my 16-week class, hey, y'all be careful because Christmas will be here before you know it. You know what I mean? You be sitting around looking around trying to figure out what happened. So always do this to yourself. Always put yourself in position when it comes to math. Always put yourself in position in which you can walk away if you need to. You know what I mean? What you don't want to do is be sitting back and now it's December 11th and you still got 3 chapters to do. So that means you cannot walk away because you got to get it done before December 12th. So just make sure you give yourself room to be able to do this stuff. And then, like I said, and allow yourself to be able to walk away, woosah, take a break, and all the good stuff like that. Because many people have tried, many people have failed to do all this stuff in one weekend. It was not made to be done all in one weekend, y'all. So be careful with that. All right. Let me see this. Are the other tests open at a certain time or whenever? Nope, everything's open. The only thing that has a specific time. So if you see right here, test 1 is right here. The way I got it set up, you have a block of homework. That's chapters 1, chapter 2, test review, then test. Then you have chapters 3, chapters 4, test review, and then test. That's the same pattern all the way to your final exam. And your 4 tests are open, just like your homeworks. Go to knock them out. I don't even that's not even timed. So nothing is timed until you get to your final exam, and which once again, you cannot see. But you have to knock that out with me on Zoom within the 2-hour block. So, all right. When it comes to these definitions, let me show you this. So notice the first couple questions. You got what are statistics? What is data? What is population? What is an individual? Now, when I did this and created this assignment, I did not make it. Let me do this. Yeah. I did not make it so that it is it's not supposed to be a hard thing. It's not a scavenger hunt. Everything is in order. So let's wait for it to load up. So this same book that if you were to buy a hard copy is right here electronically. And these definitions do not go to Siri or Google, whatever the case may be, because some words in statistics are different outside of statistics. So you do want to make sure you're holding true to the statistical definition versus just whatever worldly definition that's out there. So be careful with that. So the best thing to do is just stick to your e-text. So it's right here. All right, let's go to the next page. It normally start me off in like page 3 or something. I don't know why it's doing this. Give me copyright stuff. Come on. So you click over here, take you to the table of contents. All right. So you see our first definition is statistics. Let me go back here. Just want to show you the stuff is in order. So it says, what are statistics? What is data? What is population? What is individual? So we see statistics is the first thing. Give me a definition. Keep on scrolling. Where we at? Okay, that's statistics. Okay, right there. And then got descriptive statistics. Inferential statistics. Where am I? Okay, there we go. Uh, 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 I got it just section 2. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think before they had it in a box. It must be the new edition. So you see what are statistics, then what is data? Data's right there. Uh, and then you just keep going and following it. All of your definitions are either highlighted or in a box. So you just need to scroll through and just get them. And then this, like I said, population, individual, sample. So if we go back here, come on, get out my way. Come on, Zoom, get out my way. All right, let's do this. I'm trying to wait for the Zoom window to get out of my way. There we go. Thank you. So yeah, see, statistics, data, population, individual samples. So those are all the values, the data value, not data values, all of the vocabulary words that we saw. They're all in order. If you get to, let's say, number 4, but then all of a sudden you're looking at variables, then somewhere you miss some words in between. So they're all in order. Somebody said some chat. Can you show again how you got to the ebook? It's right here. E-text. Yep. So you just click on that. And if you just want to, I started outside. I did hit this, but I should have just started right here and then go to e-text, and then that'll put you right at 1.1. So I clicked the other thing that was before 1.1. That's why I had to go through the little pages and stuff. See, I start me at page 3. So that's what it is. So there we go. So there's statistics, data, and then you can keep going. And then, like I said, it'll be all in order. Either it's in some highlighted box or there. And if you don't see it on the page, that means you just go to the next page and see there it goes right there in a box. So, all right. So questions on your definitions. Questions. All right. So that should be your first one, easy 100, two 100s, chapters 1, chapter 2 definitions. Today is the 23rd. I mean, at least you should be able to get them to me by October. That's 1 week. October 2nd. I mean, that's a Sunday. That's not this Sunday, but it's next Sunday after this one is passed. So give you a week and some change to just go to, because you don't want that just lingering around anyway. You want to go ahead and knock that out, get it done, and then go on to the next stuff. And once again, those values, I keep saying values, but those words, those vocabulary words are the foundation of what you'll be doing for your assignments in chapter 1 and chapter 2. So when you go into doing your homework, it's going to be asking you some of the same questions that I asked you in those assignments. So you should be fine. All right. One more thing, and then that'll be it. All right, so just show you how MathLab works a little. Got this problem here. Say if I put something in here, check your answer, then they try to give you a hint. Check the answer again, they try to give you a hint. Notice it says final check now. So it gives you three chances to get the answer correct. Now, if it's something like true or false, then of course they're not gonna give you 3 chances. It just once you get it wrong, then they know you got it wrong. You know what I mean? So depending on the complexity of the problem, that would dictate how many chances you get. But for the most part, especially if it's a calculation problem, it'll give you 3 chances. Then when you hit final check, they'll tell you what the answer is if you got it wrong, or they'll just tell you it's correct. And I'm gonna just go ahead and power through this real quick. right? And so if you get it right, you know, you can go to the next question, or if you want to do it again, you can hit similar question right here, or sometimes they give you similar question right there. That's if you want to reset the problem. So if I click similar question, it resets the problem. Same type of problem, just that different numbers. And so you can walk through it again. Notice that if it's multiple questions within the question, you can get part of it right, part of it wrong. So that's why you got an X/green check. When you go to your list of assignments, you see the same thing right here for the one that we're working on. If I got it all wrong, I would just have a red X. If I got it all right, I would just have a green check. If I go through and do the problem over and get them all right, then that will turn into a whole green check, and you wouldn't even see evidence of me getting partial right, partial wrong. All right. Help me solve this. Most people don't click on this. These are your help tools down here. Most people don't click on this because it'll automatically mark the problem wrong because they solved it for you. Most people will click on view an example, and then that'll walk you through the problem, with different numbers, and some people will print it out, stuff like that. And then when you're done, you go back to the problem. Here, this how much they have here depends on the complexity of the problem. The video is the video of another instructor, somebody from Pearson, talking about the problem. Textbook will take you to the book where this problem actually is discussed. StatCrunch is Pearson's version of Excel. Tech Help is just Pearson's tech people if you have any type of tech issues, computer issues. And then Ask My Instructor that sends me an email, let me know that you had a problem with this problem right here. And then I'll answer that accordingly. Now, every now and then I'll get somebody who say, well, I sent the email through Ask My Instructor and I didn't get a response or whatever, and I never got it. So that could have been user error, or every now maybe it's that the two interfaces don't, or the two programs don't interface well with each other sometimes. But all I can do is go off of what somebody said. It could be gaslighting me. I don't know. But if that happens, just email me again. Just if you email me and you haven't heard from me, I don't tell you to email me so I cannot respond. Just email me again. Say, hey, I got a problem with number such and such. Say I tried emailing you, but I don't think it went through. And I said, and now all I said, oh, I'm sorry, I missed the email. Let me go ahead and help you out. But yeah, don't just stay in the dark on something, or say, well, he ain't emailed me back. Must not been that important. No, it's not that. Just never know what can happen with this technology. So make sure that do your part. I do my best to to do my part on my end as well, and make sure you're good coming out of class. All right. So with that being said, I think that's pretty much it. Any questions on anything? I'm gonna send this this recording out if anybody need to review anything we talked about today, and all that good stuff. But any questions, concerns, comments before we close out? Anybody?
Yeah, I just said it. So this is kind of like we can go as we want, but we should still have like some sort of pacing towards the final exam. But other than that, it's based on that like you said to get ahead now, but like it's based on our own pacing, and as long as we're keeping like the train going, keeping towards the goal, we should be good.
Yes, yes. As long as you stay doing something weekly, you should be all right. Um, December 12th is that date, man. You know what I mean? So most definitely want to make sure that we're not playing around with that date, because sometimes people, when I give people this freedom, procrastination kicks in. So what you don't want to do is let that be your thing for sure. Yeah. All right, and then it says assignments, because you mentioned something about definitions. Are the assignments under there as well? The assignments, let's go back to MATLAB. All right, Zoom, come on, man, get out the way. All right. Okay, so your assignments are right here. All right, those are the definitions right there. So I guess that's what you're asking. You click on this and then you see everything. And while she's doing that, your definitions, you can either type them up in Word or you can write them in your notebook and then send me a picture. It doesn't matter how you do it. Whatever way helps you to notate it and learn it better, or whatever the case may be, it's up to you. No, your definitions, you do have to turn in. Those are things I said you have to turn in by the 2nd. I believe I said October 2nd. Yeah, that's what you have to turn in by October 2nd. And then your assignments are right here, what you have to do in MATLAB. Yep. So all of these are what you have to do in Math Lab by the 12th. The only other due date is what I said about the homework, and you want to knock that out and send that to me by October 2nd. My email address, vtucker@tcc.edu. I just put it in the chat. But I think you can send it through Canvas as well. I think people have sent it to me through Canvas as well. But either way, it comes to that same email address, vtucker@tcc.edu. Right. So just chapter 1 and chapter 2 have to be submitted right like that. And then everything else you're going to submit through WebAssign. I mean, I keep saying WebAssign. That's another math program that I use somewhere else. But everything else you'll submit through MathLab. When you do this assignment, then hit save or submit. That's going to be your grade. But your definitions are the only two things that you're going to send to me separate. You know, it's going to shoot them to me an email. Once you do that, I'll respond to the email, let you know I got it, and then I'll have to manually put that grade into MathLab, and you'll see it once you send it to me. Well, once I acknowledge that I got it and everything, but your homework assignments and your tests, you just doing that strictly through MathLab. Once you hit submit, that's going to be your grade. Yep. For the entire semester, those are the only definitions that you're going to do. So chapter 3 on to the end, you're not doing any other definitions, just chapters 1 and 2. Anything else? Anybody else? Somebody okay? All right. So if you guys are good, I'm good. If you have any more questions, feel free to shoot me that email. And let's have a great semester. All right. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you very much. I hope you have a good day.
No problem. Thank you. You do the same.